With the arrival of the PlayStation 5, we begin to wave goodbye to what I think is hands down Sony's best generation so far, with several exclusives from both returning franchises and new IPs that have earned their place among the most critically acclaimed of all time. So before we journey forward, I just wanted to take a quick look back at some of my favourite games to come from Sony this past generation. Before we get started, remakes and remasters like Shadow of the Colossus and The Last of Us are off the table. I'm also giving an honourable mention to Bloodborne, since I only got about 15 hours into it before putting it down a couple years ago. I did just recently start to get back into it, but I've only experienced a fraction of what that game has to offer, so I don't think I could place it in this list where it would probably deserve to be without at least finishing it. So without further ado, these are my top 10 first-party PS4 games. Death Stranding is unlike any game I've played before. One where travelling from A to B isn't just a means of getting to a mission, it is the mission. The stunning yet malevolent environment is the enemy you have to conquer. While that concept alone is enough to set the game apart, what really distinguishes Death Stranding is its central theme, connections, which it reinforces in almost every aspect of the game. The goal of reintegrating isolated outposts into society, the option to link these outposts by building roads and zip lines between them, the hostile BTs littered around the map because of their connection to both the living world and the other side. And most prominently, this theme is felt in its online component, with other player structures and items scattered throughout the environment, making you feel like a part of the community despite the fact that you never even see anyone else. And in true Kojima fashion, that theme of connections feels more relevant now than ever before.
You love her. There it is.
Until Dawn begins like many other horror stories. A group of teens go to a secluded house for a weekend of debauchery. It's a well-worn cliche of the genre, but looks can be deceiving, and as you delve deeper into the game, you'll find a much more elaborate and intriguing tale than initially appears. Collectibles come in the form of totems that give you a glimpse into the future, informing you on various decisions you make, and clues that help you piece together several mysteries that all come together in an unexpected yet satisfying way. It's a perfect mishmash of Friday the 13th, The Descent, and Scooby-Doo, all brought together by a stellar cast, each of which raises their character above their respective archetypes, to the point that even the most hateable ones will have you rooting for them by the end.
Jesus, hot sauce Christmas cake. This is fucking unbelievable.
Days Gone fought an uphill battle from the day it was announced, facing a lackluster response from critics and a general lack of enthusiasm from potential players, mostly met with the question, why another zombie game? But Days Gone managed to breathe new life into an oversaturated genre. The tagline for the game is "This world comes for you," which might just seem like marketing speak, but that philosophy is felt in its gameplay. Every action you take comes with a risk. Going off-road might be the most direct way to your destination, but you can get your bike stuck in the difficult terrain and find yourself stranded, or ride directly into a horde of freakers. Whereas the main road may take longer, and increases your chances of being ambushed by marauders, but you're more likely to come across gas stations to fill up your tank. Even something as simple as firing your gun may save your ass in the moment, but the sound can easily bring a nearby horde down on top of you if you didn't properly comb the area. Danger lurks around every corner, and it's a world where survival requires thinking ahead, and in its most exhilarating moments, adapting when things go wrong. It may not be the most polished game on this list, with pacing issues and some questionable presentational decisions, but when it hits hard, and its high points easily rival those of any other game on this list. Uncharted has grown to become one of PlayStation's most beloved franchises, with Nathan Drake himself widely regarded as one of gaming's greatest heroes. So concluding his adventuring days in a satisfying way and giving him the send-off he deserved was no easy feat. Fortunately, Naughty Dog managed to stick the landing with A Thief's End, a finale that delivered the series' smoothest gameplay, most thrilling set pieces, most refined multiplayer experience, and a more nuanced, character-driven story than previous entries, all while keeping the series' trademark wit and adventurous tone intact.
Yeah, well, you know, as thrilling as the next adventure might be, in the end, I always left with that same feeling.
The most underrated game on this list, from what I think is easily Sony's most underrated franchise. Gravity Rush 2 expands and improves on just about every aspect of the original. Its gorgeous art style, stunning open world, whimsical tone, quirky characters, and oddball humor managed to capture my heart in a way few games have. Its story effortlessly balances Kat's boy troubles with a surprisingly profound commentary on oppression, prejudice, and class conflict, which is impressive for a game about a girl and her magical power bestowing space cat. All of this, on top of some of gaming's most original traversal and combat mechanics, makes Gravity Rush 2 one of the most thrilling, hilarious, and endlessly joyful experiences on PS4.
Si de quoi sonju bise shuidu, Viola de la set, près de son kino.
A melting pot of the most beloved aspects of the Wallcrawler's previous games, Marvel's SpiderMan managed to rise above them all with its focus on its narrative and characters, embracing one of the most important aspects of the character that's been almost completely ignored by every Spider-Man game before it, the man behind the mask. It presented a new version of the web-slinger that quickly became my favourite interpretation of the character, his rogues gallery, and his supporting cast, managing to put a fresh spin on them while still maintaining what makes them iconic. Its action-packed and at times surprisingly emotional story, coupled with an exhilarating combat system and phenomenal web-swinging mechanics, establishes it not only as the best Spider-Man game, but easily one of the greatest superhero games ever made.
Herman! Long time no see. Hey, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that's a parole violation.
What I think is the most original new IP to emerge from Sony this past generation, and certainly the most popular, Horizon Zero Dawn perfectly blends an intriguing story, a charming protagonist, and one of the most unique and well-realized worlds in any video game, all of which is garnished with some of the most breathtaking combat encounters I've ever had the pleasure of playing, pitting you against a massive variety of some of gaming's most intimidating foes, from the gargantuan Thunderjaw to the terrifying Stormbird, that requires strategy, precision, and speed in order to take down successfully. Just one entry in, and Horizon has already cemented its place as a staple first-party franchise.
Take my lance. Fit the master override to it, and you have a means of injection.
Then I just need to get close enough to Hades' skull to stab it in?
Exactly.
Oh, no problem.
Ghost of Tsushima features the best open world design I've ever experienced. From the way it organically leads you to various missions and activities through birds and foxes, to the meaningful and worthwhile rewards you get for completing them. It's a game that lets the player fully experience it at their own pace. The combat is fast, stylish, but also grounded, and the tale of an honorable samurai coming to terms with what he has to do to save his people complemented the setting perfectly, and had me engrossed from beginning to end. Ghost of Tsushima already earned its place on this list when it initially released, but the addition of its fantastic co-op multiplayer expansion, Legends, definitely bumped it up a spot or two. I was skeptical at the idea of The Last of Us Part 2. The original easily earned its place and one of my favourite games of all time, with its heart-wrenching story, nuanced characters, and beautifully tragic world. With an ending that leaves the characters on a fittingly somber note, I didn't really want a continuation, but The Last of Us Part 2 won me over. It's a game that explores its themes in a way that I've never seen any story do, not only on the characters, but the player too. It makes some very bold narrative decisions, but in doing so delivers a more meaningful, thought-provoking, and emotionally devastating tale than I ever thought this game could be, and those qualities are exactly what I love about the original.
I'm fucking dead anyway. Why would I tell you anything?
Because I can make it quick. Or I can make it so much worse.
God of War managed to breathe new life into a series that had seemingly run its course. Following the Neil Druckmann philosophy of simple story, complex characters, Cory Barlog and the team at Santa Monica managed to take one of the most laughably one-dimensional characters in all of fiction and turn him into a human being. It pulls back on the scale while still retaining the epic feel of previous entries, filled with welcome surprises, from its open structure to the reintroduction of elements from the original games, and its moments of levity. God of War took the series in a bold and refreshing new direction, while still remaining true to what made it great in the first place. And in my opinion, PS4 games just don't get any better.
You will always be a monster.
I know. But I am your monster no longer.
So those are my picks for the top 10 first-party games on PS4. And I have to say, looking back on what Sony has achieved in just one console's lifespan makes me incredibly excited about what they have in store for us over the next. Are there any games you think I missed? Did Ratchet & Clank deserve a spot? Or maybe Infamous Second Son? Let me know your picks in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit the like button, and since I'll be glued to my PS5 for the foreseeable future, my next few videos will be focused on that. Hit subscribe for all things PlayStation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.